Hello everybody, Wolfie, and today we are playing some GBDNATE Twister Extreme! I decided on what game I'm going to play. On which character I'm going to play. It is going to be Yael. So okay, class, settle down. Now that we've covered the majority of today's content, we'll be entering the lightning round. Failure to answer a question in a lightning round will result in immediate failure of this course. Yeah. Yeah? What is the squared coefficient of a ligated polypeptide in the adipose tissue of the common sloth? Can you repeat the question? I said, what is the squared coefficient of a ligated polypeptide in the adipose tissue of the common sloth? Well, it's, wait a minute. Why the hell am I a girl? Why in the earth am I? Answer the question or you fail, Yael. Well, in fact, I'm suddenly going more important than answering this some silly question. Is it important at all? The important thing is the question now. Answer it or you fail. I'm so confused. I don't understand what's going on. Time's up, yo, you fail. University. No! I can't fail. This isn't fair. Can't I at least try another question? Nope, you only get one shot in the lightning round. Now get out of this class. No. This can't be happening. Well, it's happening. This can't be happening. Ah! What the hell was up with that dream? I was a girl with massive boobs and I was wearing the world's most ridiculous outfit. Damn, that's the last time I stay up reading that Valkyrie Whip comic. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Where? Autoplay. My name is Yael and I'm 19 years old. I am a university student. Apart from the crazy dreams, I'm a pretty average guy. I'm currently in my first year of university. I'm studying for a science degree. I'm also single and that kind of sucks, but overall, things in my life are pretty good. I'm excited. Well, guess I better head to class. No point overthinking that dream any longer. Wait, what did that say? Make stuff up? Make stuff up, Mr. Anders. It's 9 a.m., so we'll begin today's lecture. We'll be focusing on the role of ribosomes. Make stuff up, set stuff up, try things out, write down results. Mad Science 101. Generic. One of the subjects I'm studying this year is biochemistry. It's not a particularly difficult class, but the amount of homework we get is insane. I'm not exactly the best at keeping on top of my assignments. Ah, well, I'm still managing to pass everything, and that's all that matters. Well, hold on. School is important, don't get me wrong. But don't go to college just because you think that's the only way you can get a good job. There are many good jobs. Just find the one that you'll like, and you never work a day in your life. It said a lot, I know. And that concludes today's lecture. Make sure you do module questions 3 through 7 tonight, as I'll be quizzing you on the answers in our next lecture. Failing to answer a question will result in a 1% demerit from your final. 1%? Damn! That's a lot. It's probably possibly the most boring thing I've ever sat through. I actually preferred the dream lecture I'd had this morning because at least that had been eventful. Okay. Well, that was awful, and I even have homework to do. It's just a waste of time. It's not like that stuff will be in the final exam anyway. It's just an excuse to make us show up for class. Oh well, at least that's all of today's lectures out of the way. I've just got to make it through work this afternoon, and I'm home free. Yay! Work, that's always fun. Well, where you work is gonna be fun, because you get dinner and learn. One of my mandatory subjects this year is workplace studies, and it requires students to spend one afternoon a week in the workforce. We're meant to do that for the entirety of our course in order to get a feel for the working world. We get paid minimum wage, and we mostly have to do entry-level jobs. It's a massive pain in the ass. Hey, at least you're getting money. For the past few weeks, I've been spending every Tuesday and Thursday working at Abaddon Laboratories, a scientific research firm located on the university campus. It's a research lab owned by some big drug company or something. They worked out a deal with the university that let them build their lab on the condition they take on student trainees every semester. And guess who was the lucky student that was chosen to work with them this semester? Mostly, they make me do grunt work when I'm there, like cleaning benches or putting away unused equipment. I don't even get to touch any of the computers. It's like they think I'm an idiot or something. Well, you kind of are. At least I'm getting paid. You'll see why I say he's a idiot. Like usual, I made my way across campus to the lab. I took my time getting there because I wasn't in any particular hurry to start working. There you are, Yael. You're late. Yeah, sorry about that. You've been late an awful lot recently. Yeah. Don't let it happen again, okay? Yeah, it won't. See? My supervisor is a tall guy. He's doing research on a bunch of diseases or something, but I'm not really sure what he's doing. He could be researching male pattern baldness for all I know. I've been tuning out a lot. All I care is that I have to do this job for my degree and that I'm getting paid for it. The fine details of everything else doesn't matter to me. Well, it's going to matter. No peeking. Like usual, I settled into my regular work schedule. Labeling test tubes, pushing buttons on machines, nothing overly complicated. People would have. Do something and... Who was that? I just woke up. I should have... It was incredibly boring and I absolutely hated every single second of it. I tried to do as little work as possible so I didn't go insane from it all. I was cleaning up some beakers when I approached. For whatever reason, everyone around me had started working really frantically, and they all had a determined look on their faces. It looked like I was going to be able to coast today after all. Hey, Yael, can you come here for a moment? Yeah? I need you to weigh out these test tubes and then load them into the centrifuge for me. You need to make sure that both sides of the centrifuge have the exact same amount of weight on them, so you'll have to add a tube full of water to balance them out. Use these scales and let me know when you're finished so I can check over them before I start the machine. You got all that? Yeah, I think so. Thanks. If you need any help, don't hesitate to ask someone. Great, more boring. This is what's gonna screw everyone up. It sucked. I kept being given all these useless jobs, but I guess I wasn't an actual employee. I was just a kid here on work experience. This isn't actually an important job or anything. Should I really bother putting any effort into this? It's not like they'll care whether I do a good job or anything. I'm kind of tempted to not even bother with this. Focus! Actually, I better do this properly. This job might be boring, but I am getting paid to work here. Yes! It'd be really shitty if I got fired and had to take my work experience course again next year. Who knows where this stupid university would end up sending me. I could end up working at a farm or something equally awful. Okay, let's do this. Despite my best intentions, things didn't work out that well. After a few minutes of weighing out test tubes, I got really bored. So I loaded up some music on my phone and listened to it while I worked. My music was pretty distracting. I spent a fair bit of time shuffling through my song library instead of paying attention, but I was getting everything done. I was a bit worried I might have screwed up some of my measurements, but I managed to get everything weighed out and loaded into the centrifuge by the time Liam got back. Sorry I took so long. Yael, is the work finished? Yeah, I did that ages ago. Good, just give me a second to check it. Yeah, seems fine to me. There's an even number of test tubes on each side of the centrifuge and not showing any balancing errors. Looks like we're finally ready to mix the reagents. Good work, Yael. Thanks. You're free to have a short break if you'd like. Just be back here in 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll be back in time. Well, you weren't last time. Just keep an eye on your watch, okay? We still have a lot of work to do today. Don't worry, I'll remember. Well, okay, then I'll trust you this time. This time! Picked up my stuff and got ready to go outside. I figured I'd go sit under a tree and maybe I'd play some more games on my phone. What game? They didn't need me here, and I don't think Liam really cared all that much about me taking longer lunch breaks. As I left the lab, I heard the whir of the centrifuge starting up behind me. It was a big machine that made a lot of noise, and it had given me a headache on numerous occasions in the past. Like usual, the machine rapidly became louder and louder, and the sound of everyone working in the lab was completely drowned out by its monstrous whirring noises. For some reason, the machine sounded even louder today. I could already feel my ears hurting, and I was halfway out the lab. I was glad I wasn't standing next to it right now. As I reached the exit door, I heard someone yelling at the top of their lungs, "Everyone, get down!" And then all of a sudden, there was a loud crash. Boom! And then, There was an explosion. A huge wave of smoke completely engulfed me, covering my body and blocking my vision. A few seconds later, I felt this incredibly strange sensation in my stomach. It was like my body was on fire, and I was getting stronger with every passing second. The burning sensation ramped up in intensity and spread throughout the rest of my body. Every part of my body hurt, but my crotch and chest were hurting the most. It felt like I was on fire down there, and my chest was aching like crazy, and there was a huge buildup of pressure forming inside my chest, like there was something inside of me trying to push itself outwards. And the pain didn't stop there. My crotch began to hurt more and more, and I began to feel the strangest feeling. It was the opposite sensation to what I was experiencing in my chest, as if parts of my body were being sucked inwards rather than being pushed out. My nipples also began throbbing with pain, and the pressure in my chest began to slowly subside as I felt my chest pushed outwards. My waist was stretching and pushing outwards as well, and my ribcage hurt like hell. The pain was worse than anything I'd ever experienced, and I couldn't even run away. I was immobilized. The pain was so intense that I could barely bring myself to stand up, let alone move myself to someplace safe where I couldn't be affected by this weird body-changing smoke. After what felt like over an hour of agonizing pain, it finally began to dissipate. As I regained control of my body, I leaned forward to catch my breath. But as I did, my hair draped over my face, which was weird because my hair was normally short. Had the explosion made my hair longer? But upon closer, it came clear that my hair wasn't the only thing that had changed. What the hell? Why is my voice so high? And why are my hands so small? They almost look like girl hands. A quick look confirmed the obvious. It was gone. For some ridiculous reason, that explosion had turned me into a girl. Holy crap! What? Boobs? Boobs! I'm a girl. But why? I didn't get it. This didn't make any sense at all. That was an explosion, a big, loud explosion with lots of smoke that demolished half the lab. It should have killed or wounded me, not caused my gender to spontaneously switch. What the hell is going on? And it turned into a cute girl with long brown hair and a big pair of boobs on my chest. My body had become physically smaller, and I had a big curvy waist with super smooth skin. On top of all that, I was barely fitting in my clothes anymore. It didn't make sense, and I was feeling pretty freaked out and embarrassed. I was meant to be a guy, not some cute brunette. I needed to undo this as soon as possible. I decided that I should find Liam or Derek, as they were the two head researchers. Surely they would know what had happened in that blast and know a way to change me back to normal. I mean, they were scientists, right? They had to know how to fix this. I tried to walk back into the lab and demand an explanation, but this proved more difficult than I initially. My shape had changed dramatically, and my sense of balance was completely different. I had difficulty even walking a few steps without losing my balance and having to grab onto something to steady myself. You'd think that walking like a girl would be easy, but the sudden change in center of gravity had really thrown me. Walking back to the lab was almost a nightmare. But when I finally entered the lab, I noticed that I wasn't alone in my ordeal. All the people who had been men moments before had transformed into voluptuous women. Not a single person was left unaffected. One of the girls was really short but had an enormous pair of breasts that were really way out of proportion to the rest of her body. Another girl was short and cute, but had bright green hair, unnatural hair, that didn't look anything like normal hair should. Yeah, because blue hair is normal. This was not good. Everyone was panicking like crazy, myself included, but after a few moments of absolute chaos, one of the girls stood up and tried to restore order to the situation. Everyone, calm down. Man, my voice sounds so high-pitched when I'm yelling. Anyway, we all need to take a deep breath and calm down. Clearly something really freaking weird just happened. I think it was to do with a centrifuge, but I have no idea where that explosion came from or why our genders suddenly switched. Yeah, you do. Whatever happened, we need to settle down and figure out whatever causes. Screaming and running around won't help anything. Judging from her clothing, I guess the mystery girl was Liam, but I couldn't be sure. Apart from the clothes being the same, her new form was completely unrecognizable. Is anyone hurt apart from the gender swap, I mean? I'm still struggling to figure out what exactly caused this explosion, but I'm pretty confident it had something to do with the broken centrifuge disc flying out and hitting the ventilation shaft. But as to why that caused an explosion is anyone's guess. Oh right, you guys probably have no idea who I am. If you hadn't guessed already, it's me, Liam. I must admit it, seeing me turning into someone like this is probably pretty hard to believe, but it's really me, I promise. Although you probably do believe me because it looks like everyone else here was turned into a chick too. Anyway, I think we should survey the area for any damage first, just in case there's a risk of another blast. If everything is safe, then we should probably all reintroduce ourselves. I seriously don't know who any of you are. The explosion had damaged quite a lot of equipment in the lab, and there was still some smoke lingering around, but luckily the explosion hadn't caused any major structural damage to the building. It wasn't exactly ideal, but at least I didn't have to worry about the roof falling over or anything. It didn't look like there was going to be a second explosion either. The centrifuge was completely broken, and we were pretty sure that it was what had triggered the blast. It appeared that one of the giant spin discs from the centrifuge had flown out of its casing, and when it hit the vent and somehow exploded, they were still figuring out the details, but it appeared the area was safe for now. I thought that the exploding centrifuge might have been my fault, as I had just set it up moments before the explosion. But on the other hand, Liam checked all of my work before starting the machine, and he said I'd set it perfectly fine. Centrifuge going haywire was probably due to an electrical fault or something. Tuning out while weighing a few test tubes shouldn't have caused something this catastrophic to happen. While everyone else surveyed the lab, I managed to find myself a pair of scissors. My fringe was way too long and it was driving me crazy, so I decided I should do something about it. They're much better. I think I might leave the rest of this length, though. Call me weird, but I'm beginning to kind of like having long hair. I can't exactly say that about the rest of my changes, though. Stupid boobs. After everyone double-checked the lab to make sure there were no further explosions, we gathered in the middle of the lab and reintroduced ourselves. Hi. I'm, Yael, and the explosion turned me into a girl as well. Oh my god, she's adorable. I know, right? So freaking cute. Can I go sit down now? Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Yael. I sat down and watched the rest of the girls reintroduce themselves. A few of them were pretty embarrassed about their new form, so it took a while to get through everyone. It was pretty interesting, though. Some of the transformations were simply incredible. There were giant boobs and weird hair colors everywhere. In fact, most of the lab victims turned out really busty. I was glad I had managed to end up having relatively normal-sized breasts. Interestingly, it turned out I didn't need my glasses anymore. The reason for this happening is just as bizarre as my sudden gender swap, but at least I didn't have to worry about my glasses falling off my face anymore. According to everyone else, I looked super cute without my glasses. They just wouldn't shut up about it, and it was starting to piss me off. I know I looked cute and fluffy on the outside now, but I was still the same old Yael on the inside. However, I had put my rage aside and focused on the task at hand. It wasn't the best scientist in the bunch, but I could help with the basic stuff, and any work I did would help the others research a cure faster. With that in mind, I tried my best to help out, but things didn't really work out that well. Ow. Did you hurt yourself again? Yeah, I'm a bit short now, so I keep bumping into things because I misjudged this, and I've hit my elbows on the cupboards at least a dozen times now. Tell me about it. I've been trying to carry test tubes and stuff, but my boobs are so big and my frame is so small that I end up losing balance and falling over. I'm even shorter than you are. Oh yeah! Boobs are so annoying. Tell me about it. But hey, at least you look cute. Why do people keep saying that? Aw, so cute. I'm not cute. Sure. Today has got to be the worst day ever. Yep, pretty much. Do you think we're going to be stuck like this? I really, really hope not. I don't think I could cope with this body for the rest of my life. Yeah. At least you don't have two massive melon boobs on your chest to worry about, though. If I take a single step, it sets off a chain reaction of super boob jiggling. It throws me off balance and it makes it impossible to do anything. At least you look cute. I had that one coming. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get used to my new form. I was weak and girly now, and I hated it. I was desperate to get my old body back. However, the research team was working very quickly. Being turned into chicks didn't really seem to hinder their performance much, and judging by the conversation fragments I was hearing here and there, it sounded like they were making great progress. After a few hours of cleaning, it was brilliant. I was hoping he'd finally find a way to get me out of this ridiculous body. Thanks for cleaning up, Yael-chan. This lab is looking great. Yael-chan? Yeah, because you're so cute. I'm not cute. Yes, you are. What if I called you Linda, huh? Being called cute names isn't fun. Actually, that might work. What? Linda? No, just Lynn. Had a nice ring to it. Yeah, I like it. Well, I'm stuck in this body. Just call me Lynn. But she's like, what? Well, I hardly look like Liam anymore, do I? I guess. Then Lynn it is. Anyway, yeah, you're free to head home now. The worst of the damage is cleaned up, so there's not much more you can really help with here. But what about turning me back into a guy? We're going to pull an all-nighter, but there's no way we're going to have a cure ready by the end of the day. We'll be ready tomorrow afternoon at the absolute earliest. Wait, what? What am I going to do about tomorrow? I have mandatory lectures I have to attend. I can't go to class looking like a girl. Why not? It'll be fun. No! It won't be fun. It will be terrible. Don't worry so much. It'll be fine. I'll just ring your lecturers and explain the situation to them. I'm sure they won't mind. This was all an accident after all. No, if anyone found out about this, I'd never hear the end of it. There's no way I could show my face in public ever again. Everyone would think I'm a freak and I would die from embarrassment. Liam, can you keep this a secret for me? Whatever happens, can you promise not to tell anyone that I'm a girl now? Lynn, not Liam. Fine, Lynn. Can you please keep this a secret? I'll just skip a few lectures for a few days until you develop a cure. You've got to promise you won't tell anyone. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I have reported this incident to Abaddon Pharmaceuticals, but I'll make sure the general student body doesn't know about find out about the details. There's too much money involved anyway. Yo, we just accidentally created an explosion that changed everyone's gender. If we find a way to replicate this accident and sell it as a drug to the general public, we could make millions of dollars. True. So you won't have to worry about any leaked information about your gender swap getting out. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from telling everyone. No! I thought as much. Just keep a low profile and you'll be fine. With that being said, you're going to have to attend class. What? Skipping class will just draw attention to yourself. I know the university here monitors attendance. Oh yeah. It won't be that bad. Just wear a hat or something and nobody will notice you've had a sex change. Excuse me, have you seen these boobs? How on earth am I going to cover these up with a hat? Oh, they're not that big. Still feel pretty big to me. Don't worry, nobody will notice. Trust me. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? Sorry, Yael. There's nothing more I can do. Man, that sucks. Just say workplace accident. Duh. Everything about today sucks. Hey, at least you're cute. Despite being discouraged and a little bit pissed off, I didn't really have any other option than heading home. I was dreading going to class tomorrow, but what could I do? Reluctantly, I left the lab and walked back to my apartment. And as I walked, one major problem with my new body became apparent. When I walked up the stairs to my room, my breast started heaving around like crazy under my shirt, and I had to adjust my balance to calm. That exact moment, I just realized I'd walked the entire way back from the lab without trying to hide my appearance at all. I was dreading tomorrow so much that it hadn't even occurred to me. I was incredibly lucky that I didn't see anyone around at this time of night. If the long hair wasn't obvious enough, my jiggling breast would have been a dead giveaway. It could have been bad. What was I thinking? It's okay though, I got away with it this time. But if I'm going to go to class tomorrow, I'm going to need a disguise. I guess I could cut my hair. Nah, it'd be such a shame. I'll think of something tomorrow. I hope. Jackets! Haunted by my own thoughts that night. What would have happened if I stuck like this forever? What would my friends and family think? Would I get used to this, or would I feel uncomfortable and embarrassed for the rest of my life? You'll find out! I just wanted to get back to normal and put this chapter of life behind me. I didn't feel any better following morning. Nothing miraculous had happened. I was still stuck in the body of a curvy teenage girl. As depressed as I was, I had to go to class this morning. It was the only way to keep my new body secret, but if I was going to go to class, I needed a way to hide the fact that I transformed into a girl. Oh, this might work. I ended up grabbing an old t-shirt and tying it around my chest. It flattened my breasts and made them less noticeable, but it was really uncomfortable. On top of that, there was still a slight bulge in my clothing, but it was a start. Once again, I contemplated chopping off my hair, but I eventually decided against it. I didn't like short hair on girls, and off chance I was look like this at least look good. It was better to be an attractive girl than an unattractive one. Man, that sounded weird. I decided to wear one of my hoodies over my regular clothes. If I kept the hood up, then nobody would notice that my hair was longer, and it was loose enough on my body that it helped hide all my new curves. I put on my old glasses well, even though my eyesight was perfect now, thanks to the positive aspects of my transformation. I didn't want anyone at the university quiet. All in all, I'd say a pretty good job passing any close inspections. But to the average person, I look like the same old Yael I've always been. I might just get away with this after all. With that in mind, I grabbed my laptop and headed to class. Now then, that is going to be all for this episode. It is rather short, yes, but Yael is rather short from what I have heard. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see all of you